and start telling your young adult children about the mistakes that you made, you're going to curse your grandchildren. Yes, it will be you. Like those bear the responsibility before you on cursing you. It's men. You on your third, fourth relationship where you left a broken home and them kids is left behind with no real connection with you. Man, I ain't studying what a bitch saying, bro. I know I'm a good dude. No, you're not. No, you're not. But the only reason you ain't willing to accept this is because of your feelings. You don't know how to manage your feelings and separate. Hey, bro, my character is not good in this season of my life. I got 2, 3 sets of kids or different households that, bro, I don't even make enough to look after these kids if I wanted to. Financially, mentally, it's certain shit I'm going through. I'm trying to get the bitch I'm with to look out for me with this and that. People just not being real. And this is what's causing us to repeat a lot of the cycles. And this is why, for example, when Nika asked the question about setting boundaries, this is what makes it uncomfortable, or you get that fear when it's time to set a boundary, because it's like these people are not going to change. They ain't going to tell the truth. Their emotions matter more. I'm trying to get out of mine. And so guess what? Auntie, I can't talk to you no more. Ma, I can't. She calling. I see her calling. I can't answer the phone. I can't do it. I pick up, you're going to influence me to do more bullshit. And that's on me. It ain't even on you. That's why I ain't picking up the phone. That's why I don't go out with y'all no more. That's why I don't care to listen to them stories. I don't tell y'all my business. That's why I'm reading books more than I'm sitting up on the phone or watching movies or drinking or hanging out. This is why I'm eating cleaner, so my brain can be clear. Like the flex is me changing, growing. Not showing up in the version that is just a product of my environment and the bullshit y'all told me and programmed into me to make yourselves feel like a good parent.
That's so crazy, love. Like, I have family members that's telling me, like, because I have anemia issues now because I had a weight loss surgery a few years ago, so I'm struggling with anemia, and my body started to reject meat. So now I don't eat meat at all. Mm-hmm. So it's like, they telling me, she like, oh, you need to eat some meat. That's the only way to get your protein up. At one point in time, when did we start eating meat? Like, us as the human race, period. When did we start eating meat? Because as an infant, ain't nobody stick a piece of meat in your mouth. You had titty.
I'm going to tell you, the idea is, as you grow up, you realize I need to understand more about me, my blood type, what type of system of doing things, right? My body has developed, or what state my body has went into based on what I put in it. And so it requires certain detox and fasting from certain stuff, or even eating more of things like meat that some people will tell you we shouldn't eat. So for example, when you meet people that are on a journey of getting more physically fit and you feel weak and you're fat, and you know, most of your body when you take your clothes off is dented up fat, or even, you know, hard fat. The idea is I need to lose weight, but also build muscle. I need to go into a calorie deficit, but at the same time, you know, I have stretched my stomach to the point where I'm hungry past the point of what I should be. So I need to eat more filling foods, which would be more like protein first, and cut the carbs and things like that. You can't get to this space of wanting to even talk about this kind of stuff when you are still engulfed in the lies from your upbringing. It will keep you emotional. Anybody realize, like, once I got on this journey of trying to grow and build and find myself, I got more out of my feelings and into what do I do next? What can I fix next? What can I read next? Where can I go next? Who can I get around next? Anybody realize that?
Man, somebody told me they was like, man, I can't keep up with your ass. I said, because I ain't in the bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're constantly in that. Go ahead, Linwood. I'm sorry.
That's me. That's me. I feel like I'm a cog that keeps rolling. If hustle gets good, what do we do to make this better? What do we do to branch out from this? Or if it gets bad, snip. Snip this. What's the next thing?
Mm-hmm. This is why I'm telling y'all, like, until you get in a space where you can quiet the noise, right? And if anybody taking notes, you can write this down. In order for me to start the journey of managing my emotions, I have to quiet the noise, right? And so part of that is understanding that I'm responsible for my thoughts. I know I'm responsible for my feelings. That's why I'm even in a Zoom like this on management of emotions. But my thoughts is what keeps the emotion driving and running. It's what gives it energy. So I'm responsible for my thoughts. Now, similar to what I explained about declarative and non-declarative memory, right? I have to understand that my environment heavily influences what I think about. And so I got to ask myself, who influences me and who interacts with me on a regular basis? This is why I gave y'all the, the concept of like when I talk to young people, there are a lot of young people suffering because the people that raise them are controlling as fuck. And so they have yet to be in a space where they can quiet their thoughts and work their own mind, because a lot of what they hear is their mama voice or their daddy's voice. And the shit is lies. It's just lies about doing things the way that they think you should do it, as if you're trying to make your life look like theirs. And so I talk to so many young women, like I said, they are suffering. They had a baby young. They got encouraged to keep the baby and do so from their mother. And then now the mother uses that same concept to basically blackmail or control them. I ain't gonna do certain stuff. I ain't gonna watch a kid. The minute you don't, or you make a move different than what she thinks you should do with your life, now you getting treated a certain way, or she handling the grandkids from a space of distance, or sometimes even playing, using them against you, right? In these situations. There are a lot of young people that they can't even get in a good co-parenting situation because his mama telling him what to do, her mama telling her what to do, and none of them are actually thinking for themselves in co-parenting. It's the grandparents playing puppet master.
Yep.
And people like me that do therapy calls and counseling calls, when I talk to people, I can tell if these things that you're doing is your choice or if you're just influenced, because oftentimes you cannot explain it. I ask the hard questions to people. The questions that you not finna be able to tell me some emotional shit to make me get off this subject with you. And a lot of times the person cannot maturely explain why they behaving the way they behaving. Just like Shonda said, she realized she was a bitter baby mama because she hung with bitter baby mamas. Or she had a friend that was a bitter baby mama. So I get all of my discussion, I trauma bond with this person. And this is where I get my confidence to behave bitter. And my delusion to act like it's not bitter while I'm behaving bitter.
And it won't no real love there. At all. It's just the trauma. It's the trauma that keeps you bonded. It's the negativity that keeps you bonded. Mm-hmm. I just told my mom yesterday, my granddad suggested that I put my baby daddy, I filed for full custody. And mind you, me and him are doing amazing. Mm-hmm. And I told my mama, I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? Mm-hmm. Why would I do that? I said, that's why I don't talk to them about nothing. That's why when I had my son, it's crazy that you said that about the young mothers, because they made my damn pregnancy hell after I had my son. Mm. Hell, every time they call, I get a eerie, a triggering feeling over me where it's like, I'll be ready to get off the phone with them. I don't even go over there like that so you can bring up the subject of why my son has not been over here. No, you don't get to make me feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm. It's so, I'm going to tell you, the reality of it is they don't have our children's best interests at heart. And a lot of times as parents, we don't even have our children's best interests at heart. We have what is in the best interest of our feelings. We tell lies, we create delusion, we keep all to just feel a mother or a good father or grandfather, excuse me. We're not being honest about what is really working against, our children. And we're not being honest about the product. This is where in our community, and it's such a triggering subject, right? It is when you see children grow up and they don't have a positive or healthy relationship with their parent. You watch the parent go into a space of telling themselves the child is just some disrespectful, bad child, right? And they could very well be disrespectful and bad. But where did they get that from? And what do you hear most parents say? They ain't get that from me. I ain't teach them that. Well, who taught it to them?
Yes.
They spent 98% of their 18, 19, 20 years around you. The environment you put them in, the neighborhood that you could afford to live in, the school that you chose to enroll them in, around the niggas that you chose to date, with the females that you chose to be with the family members that you believed were valuable. They were programmed and conditioned and, molded into what they are based on the choices that you made. You are very much responsible for every bit of the good and the bad that is in them in regards to how they think and how they behave. We just like to tell ourselves when the product is not so good that don't got nothing to do with me. And this is why we're not correcting from a lot of the bullshit. It's the same for us with health and weight loss and things like that. We just lie. I got thyroid problems. I got PCOS. I got, this weight running my family. I heard an actual, personal trainer on his platform mention that, it's a lot of women, especially black women, they born with big butts. Excuse me? Like, the physique that we develop, right, has to do with our genes, but it's based heavily on what we put in our bodies. And as a child, you don't get to decide what gets put in your body. Your parents do. Whoever your caregiver is. So a lot of the things have to do with the way your body develops and things like, and how what you grow into. Some of it is biology, but a lot of it is genetic or hereditary simply because you are in the same exact environment as your parents. And that is why fat people raise fat children. Anybody ever see the families at the grocery store that it's like, we're told you got to be nice and polite. You can't say, I'm never finna let nobody pull away from what is true. The daddy fat, the mama fat, then they two sons or the son and the daughter walk them how they all fat. Y'all fat because of what y'all parents feeding y'all. It ain't y'all fault, but y'all are fat.
What be grinding my gears about this particular type of subject, especially when it comes to diet and health. When you talk about what we are born with, are we born this certain type of way? Then you look out and you look at some of our African counterparts or our counterparts in the islands, and it's like, how come they're slick? How come they're slender and sleek? Matter of fact, a lot of them trying to gain weight. We over here plumped out talking about body shape.
Mm-hmm. It's just another way to dance around the truth, Linwood. It's another way to dance around the truth.
And if I don't mind being transparent, for the longest time after I was done with my cancer chapter, when I was gaining a lot more weight than I thought than I expected, like my highest weight was like 223 pounds. I was kind of lying to myself that I was doing all the right things, because I was still going to the gym, but I was loading up on alcohol and drive-through food at the same damn time. Meanwhile, my blood pressure at all these doctor's appointments were going up and up and up and up. Like the highest was like about 150 systolic. That's 150, the top number, right? As soon as I stopped alcohol, by the way, sobriety day 33. Now my recent doctor's appointment, it's at 128 systolic now.
We will lie to ourselves and tell ourselves alcohol ain't doing nothing to us. Anything to just not feel. Notice how all of this is going back to feelings, not feel like something is wrong. And this is why oftentimes we don't confront the shit that you can clearly see until it makes us feel bad. I'm not going to the doctor until I feel sick. I'm not going to say nothing about what's happening until the feeling is too big to suppress.
Yep. I be fucking myself up with them lies to self. I think on average I have less problems with management of emotions unless some homo folks start bringing up gay people shit. Then I still got some shit to work on. I ain't wholly healed, about 80%. Anyway, I have a problem with lying to myself. That's my bigger problem.
But even Linwood, I'm gonna tell you something, and then Shauna, you ask your question. I get asked to speak on a lot of different subjects, even on platforms, asked to talk about certain stuff. And, I am so focused on the shit that our community has been deprived of for so long, that has created a lot of the deficiencies in our character, in the ways that we think. That, you know, for example, when I'm asked to speak on subjects like, you know, what do you think about the LGBT community and things like that? The issues that lie at the core of our community, it don't be having shit to do with half the stuff that people are so horny to talk about or to even judge or have a debate about. We are in a state of emergency with the way that we teach poverty, with the way that we teach to eat poisonous shit, with the way that we sit in delusion and lie to ourselves about the product that we create in our community, with the way that we do not self-educate, with the way that everybody is walking around worried about